Hello friends, welcome to Nature Walks. Today I would like to talk about unworthiness, which I think is a worldwide disease. We all suffer from it, and I took a break a little bit because I was myself faced with this inner belief, the old story that I think a lot of us have. And if you're manifesting something, big part of whether you're going to manifest it or not, or how quickly, is if you feel like you deserve it. If there is something within you that feels like it's maybe too big, like maybe people like you don't get that happy ending. Maybe there is something within you that still needs to be met with love. So today I wanted to talk about that. In many cultures, children are put into their place by being told that you don't have a voice. I come from Poland, and in Poland we have this saying that children and fish don't have a voice. So don't you dare speak up as a child. You should be obedient. You should always listen to your parents and what they tell you, because they have the authority. And as much as this is the best they can do, as they try to raise you for a decent human person, that all comes from the generational trauma that you are lucky enough that you can now heal, so that you don't spill it over to the next generations if you are a parent or are planning to be a parent. And as I was coming here to the forest, I heard two ladies speaking. They were retired ladies, and they were talking about how human beings are the worst creatures ever, how they smell, how disgusting their behavior is, and so on and so forth. And they could be grandmothers and having a child in a trolley next to them, and that child would listen to all of that, absorbing that, oh, okay, so I am also people, which means that I am the worst there is. All I can do is just to try to be the least worst there is, and then we put ourselves down. We don't really reach out for what we truly want, because we are told, oh, the economy is bad, and then you make decisions for your career and what you want to do in life based on how much money it can bring you and how much security it can give you, not focusing on what will actually make you happy, what is your calling, what is your purpose, what do you actually like to do. And I know that many of you had the same story as I do, and last year I kind of decided to make a decision to put an end to it and try something else this time. And unworthiness is a tricky one, because you could be working on yourself and your self-development and growing spiritually for years upon years, and it could still run the show underneath that. You might be just doing a lip service to the spiritual part of you, the real you, the awareness, but deep down still having these programs, these old beliefs, old stories that are carried with you in there. You can be the best at self-care. You can be telling yourself very empowering things like, oh, I'm not begging anybody to love me, like I know my worth, and so on. We can say such things, but still underneath believing that we are not worthy, and keeping ourselves at the distance to the potential love, because deep down it's really dangerous. And it was the case for me for a long time as well. All the self-care and really being sure that I got my own back, that I accept myself fully, wasn't true. And it came up in the moments that I least expected that, as it usually does. Lots of people say, spiritual teachers as well, they say that desire is a part of you. And it's 100% true. But what does it mean? Some interpret it as it means that it is already yours, that it exists on another timeline that you haven't accessed yet. And I believe it's true. I believe that everything that we want is for us. It's not a coincidence that we have this thought that this is what we want. This is our destiny. But there is another thing that I think about desire as very crucial, and not many people talk about this. Desire is a part of you because it reveals something about you that you haven't faced yet. If you think about all the desires that you have or used to have and achieved. And what is the commonality there? The common denominator is you. And when I started thinking about, when I had this episode a few weeks ago, I started to think, okay, I don't feel worthy because that particular situation, I'm not going to get that much into details in that, it doesn't matter. Everyone goes through a different scenario, but the takeaway is the same. That I started to think about everything I want for my dream reality in a couple of years from now, how I want my life to look like. Job, love life, financial situation, house I live in. What do all these things have in common? And then it hit me that all of these things, in my mind, if I achieve them, I will finally be enough. That if I get them, I am worthy. We all have desires that start as an idea or some kind of nudge coming from within about something we want. And at first we might be talking ourselves out of that, thinking that it's too much, that it's too big, that nobody in my family did anything like that, no one I know ever achieved something like that, right? So we all carry these stories within ourselves and we tell ourselves not to do it because what if we fail? But I think underneath there's not really a fear of failure, but fear of what's going to happen if I succeed. And regardless of the fact whether I'm gonna experience these things in my life or not, their sole purpose is for me to realize that I still condition my peace, my freedom, and my own love towards myself, my life, my self-acceptance, whether I get something or not. And this reveals to me that these desires came up to me because that's what I really want. Okay, this is no coincidence, and it is for me. However, because they are so strong and so emotionally charged for me, they are most likely to reveal these things about me. And they did a fantastic job at that. So the mission is already accomplished for these desires, because now I know what I'm dealing with. And let me just tell you that for you to manifest something and keep it in your life, you really have to have a very critical look at your beliefs, at what is there in your subconscious. Because get this, the place we are going to, the dream reality, which looks differently for each of us, but still, when we go there, there is peace, there is freedom, there is love, there is success, fulfillment, all the good stuff. And do you think that there is space there for unhealed childhood wound of not feeling worthy about getting something, or not feeling enough, or feeling like you have to give to other people all the time because only that way you feel worthy? That's my personal story, by the way. A huge people pleaser here. I mean, in the past at least. I try not to do that anymore. And you cannot take this part of yourself to the dream reality. That's why it comes up. That's why there are emotional purges and so on. So each time something like this comes up for me, it doesn't feel good at the time, granted. Like, it's hell, it's really, really uncomfortable, okay? It feels like death. And you start questioning everything, and doubt come to the surface and so on. But it's for you to see things clearly. It's for you to accept yourself, maybe for the first time ever, fully, whatever comes up, being there for yourself and really holding yourself in love, in deep, unconditional, unwavering love for yourself and everything that comes up. Because these shadows, these are basically old versions of you, like a child that was told no, and it started to feel rejected, went to the corner of the room, crumbled and started crying because it felt so rejected and like it's definitely going to die. So your subconscious is full of these parts of yourself, and all you can do is to hold this part of you in love, whatever comes up. And believe me, I know that it's not easy and it hurts and it feels so heavy. But if we don't go through this with love, the things that await on the other side, like whenever I go through something like that, I know that the deeper the dent it is I'm falling into, the higher the mountain is going to be next that I climb on. So imagine this beach ball that is being held underwater, okay? And it's held in there and the pressure is building. And once you release it, it makes a splash. And that's exactly what's happening with you. But it's not the end of the world. You just need to be there with yourself, and you can use some like EFT tapping or like different somatic methods to process that. It's good at some point as well. But I noticed that I was doing these practices really out of hate because I wanted them to just go away. Like, I don't want you here, go away. But now I just look at it a little bit differently, and if you need some help with that, I can aid you with that. Like, I started coaching, so you can sign up, but you can also do it on your own, because it's really all you have to do is to do nothing. Be kind to yourself. You've got this, and let's heal this worldwide disease together once and for all, because your value is inherent, not because you have something, not because you give to others, but because you are. And I'll leave you with this message because I think it's beautiful, and keep this in mind for the rest of the summer and the rest of your life, really. And yeah, thank you for watching, and remember, you are brave, you are loved. Be kind to yourself. Bye now.